We're going to look at what the Collingwood lineup looks like in 2028. This is what we project and what we look at from a club perspective, how they're selling themselves to other recruits and potential players to re-sign as well. So this is what we've got the Pies lineup looking like in 2028. We can zoom in here a little bit closer. This is our forward line at your end.
Yep.
Lockie Schultz. We've got Charlie West there, yet to debut. Also Bo McCreary. That face in the middle that you don't know yet, that's Zach McCarthy. So he's going really well. He's a chance to be a first-round pick at this year's draft.
As an NGA product.
As an NGA product. We've got Harvey Harrison. He'll be back later this year. Josh Daicos, of course. The midfield is an interesting one. Obviously, Nick Daicos is there. We've got Ned Long after his great form at the moment, and Paddy Lipinski, and Tom McGuan, the father-son, on the wing too. There's the defence too. We know Harry Perryman's in the side. Darcy Moore in the final year of his contract in 2028. Dan Houston, Tao Giath and Isaac Quaynor. So there are, as you'll see, some missing pieces.
And that's what they'll be trying to fill in the next couple of years, because there are some missing men on that board as well as we have a look. So these are the guys we've got question marks on the moment. Braden Maynard, out of contract, free agent at the end of the year. We know the interest is there from North Melbourne. That's still way up in the air. Bobby Hill and Darcy Cameron out of contract in 2026. Currently in talks to potentially extend them, but there's a bit of uncertainty around their future at the moment. Jack Crisp is going to be 35 by the time 2028 rolls around. One of the most durable players in the competition, but will he still be going? And then Jordan DeGoey and Dan McStay, they come out of contract at the end of 2027. It's a question mark over whether or not they get new deals as well.
The Maynard one is fascinating on a lot of respects, isn't it? I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see the club and his management come together and see where the next steps are, because he wanted to get through that first 6 or 7 rounds before getting to closer to decision time for him. Bobby Hill and Darcy Cameron, for me, are just a really big watch in terms of their futures at the club. They have, as you say, they're contracted for next year, but they have clubs coming for them. Collingwood's put a longer-term deal to Bobby Hill that's been back and forward, but really no movement. And Dan McStay, just a little bit on him. Like, he signed a 5-year deal worth $600,000 in 2022. Yeah. Everyone thought, how much money is that? No one would even blink an eyelid at that money for a free agent, and he has absolutely filled the role that he can come in and do.
So have they got their eyes on, Kel?
Well, this is the trick about being Collingwood. They're going to be into everyone, and they are always going to have a chance to get these players because of the stature of the footy club and because the nature of their contending. So we know they met with Matt Rowell last year. The vibe on him still is that he most likely stays at Gold Coast, but they're in it. And they've been interested as a footy club in Matt Rowell for 6 years. Remember, going back to 2019, they offered up Adam Treloar to Gold Coast for pick 1. They wanted to get Matt Rowell then, and they've kept an eye on him ever since. Zach Butters, they don't have the trade collateral this year to make that happen, but if he's a free agent and gets through to free agency next year, then I think they'd absolutely be in that mix. Imagine Butters and Nick together. Christian Petrarca, well, Collingwood was one of the clubs that he had interest in going to last year. They didn't have enough chips on the table to get that one done at the time. Does it come this year at a different rate? Oscar Allen, they do have a level of interest in as a free agent. They need to fill that role. I think they're going to go super hard for Ben King next year. I think they'll be all over Ben King next year, and it'll be one of the great free agency watches next year. He's done 2-2-2-2 to get through to year 8, so that's a watch. And then, of course, Harley Reid. I mean, why wouldn't they be in the Harley Reid conversation? If it's this year, they've got nothing to play with. If it's next year, they've got more potential to use some stocks and move around. The other one, Bailey Humphrey, they had a crack at last year through the trade period. He's contracted for a long, long time, so I don't see that happening.
They start at pick 36 in the draft this year, which is going to be an impediment for them.